how you'd explain Hivemapper to somebody who hasn't heard of it before.
Yeah, so very simple. So we're building a map. You go and you buy one of these 2 dash cams from us. There's one that's $300, and then there's one that's a little bit pricier, like $550. You install the dash cam. It takes you about 5 minutes to install the dash cam into your car, and then you just drive like you normally drive, right? So we don't want people like only driving for Hivemapper. We don't want you going out on the road specifically for Hivemapper. Just if you're already out on the roads, awesome. This is a great addition to your drive. The imagery offloads from the dash cam to Hivemapper. Then there's a system called Map AI. Map AI is effectively extracting out from the imagery all of the objects that you see around you every single day, right? So, hey, there's a construction. The construction work zone is impacting 2 of the 3 lanes. It starts here, it ends there. There's a 35 mile per hour speed limit sign. There's a 20 mile per hour speed limit sign for a school zone. There's no left-hand turn here between these hours. All that kind of information, that's the data that actually makes a map, right? And so there's these Map AI trainers that are then training the Map AI to get better and better and better at its job, right? And so there's all these different kind of fun games that you can play online. Some of them are quite challenging because it makes it a little bit more fun. And so there's about, 10,000 or so people who are doing that on a daily basis. And then ultimately, we now have these great data products that we then turn around and we sell to businesses. So unbeknownst to most people, if you never use Google Maps, what I tell people is if you never use Google Maps, you are still interacting with Google Maps as you go about your day, right? You open up Lyft, you open up Uber, you go to a FedEx website. If you work at FedEx, if you work at Uber, if you work in the US government, if you work at a real estate company, if you work at a financial services company, whatever, right? Like you are interacting with maps and location data, whether you know it or not. Mm-hmm. And all of that data is being paid for, right? So the biggest player in that market is definitely Google Maps. I know companies that pay them $35 million a year, right? And that's like not, it's a lot, but there are companies that pay them more.
Yeah.
So it's a large business. There are basically 3 big markets that we're attacking. The first 2 that we're operating in right now, which is businesses, millions of businesses use it. The second one is more nascent, but this is basically autonomous driving. Now, there's a whole range of autonomous driving from something which is like a full robo-taxi, like a Cruise or like a Waymo, right? All the way down to like Ford's product, which is called Blue Cruise. That's basically advanced driver systems. It will drive for you in certain roads at certain times of day and all that kind of stuff. So all of those would definitely benefit from maps like ours that are incredibly fresh. And that market is nascent, but it's very interesting because customers are willing to pay for it, right? So in other words, Ford Blue Cruise product is not free. You're paying an annual subscription to that product because you need to, it's not like a car, like, okay, the car's engine has to work for you, right? It's an on-off switch. But with a ADAS system, the expectation is, one, it has to be maintained, right? And the expectation is that it's constantly improving and expanding.
Right. Yeah.
And so consumers in their mind are willing to pay a subscription fee for something that needs to be maintained, improved, and expanded upon. And so that's why you're seeing them adopt and pay for. And so that's great because we're a key ingredient into those systems. And so we're looking forward to the growth of that market. The third market, which we don't yet play in, is really the consumer navigation experience. So this would be something that's like competitive to like a Waze or something like that. That will take more years to develop all the layers of the map so that we can potentially compete in there. But it is interesting because, today when you're using something like a Waze, you hit a button that says, hey, there's construction here, there's a cop here, whatever it is. They don't immediately believe you. Right? They have to wait for a lot of people to then confirm that.
Right.
And so it depends on your rating and a bunch of other factors in terms of whatever, a whole bunch of stuff. Whereas the dash cam sees it, you don't have to believe. I mean, the dash cam is the image. It's right there, right? And we can tell you immediately what's going on and we can tell you the impact of it. So we won't just tell you this construction. We'll tell you the impact of that construction on navigation. Okay, 1 out of the 3 lanes are closed or 2 out of the 3 lanes are closed. That's a lot more actionable and it's a lot faster. And so I do think that we can demonstrate some new capabilities when it comes to navigation that the world hasn't seen yet.